impromptu championship match. Ronda Rousey's just been in a war.
The WWE Hall of Famer wants Flair to deliver a promo addressing the constant comparisons between herself and Tiffany Straton, particularly regarding their blonde hair. I have this vision of Charlotte putting the figure 8 on Tiffany Straton and Tiffany Straton passing out from the pain, and this would be a segment. And then Charlotte Flair rolls out of the ring, and she goes to her purse, or whatever, and she pulls out a pair of scissors. I want Charlotte Flair to cut the promo about how the comparisons and now, Ray said. Bully Ray further explains what WWE star Charlotte Flair should do to Tiffany Straton with scissors in her hand. In the same podcast, Buba Ray Dodley proposed that Charlotte Flair cut a single strand of the center of the universe's hair, placing it in a bag. The veteran wants this move to symbolize the Queen's ability to eliminate all comparisons. Bully Ray believed that the 38-year-old star would eliminate all comparisons at the showcase of the Immortals, emphasizing Tiffany Straton's inferiority. The WWE legend believed Flair would assert that the buff Barbie was not on her level. Charlotte Flair takes one strand of Tiffany Straton's hair, just one lonely strand, and cuts it off, and takes that one strand of hair and puts it in a baggie or whatever. And that one strand represents that at any given moment Charlotte Flair could have taken away all the comparisons of Tiffany Straton to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I'm going to get rid of all of the comparisons because you are not the Queen, and you are not the wrestler Charlotte Flair would ever be, Ray said. WWE legend points to Tiffany Straton's golden opportunity at Elimination Chamber 2025. WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Straton has become too popular to continue as a heel. The company has booked her in a tag team contest at Elimination Chamber, Toronto, with hometown hero Trish Stratus. The Hall of Famer will be cheered in the match, as evident in her appearance on SmackDown last night. But Bully Ray feels that WWE should resist booking the buff Barbie as the sympathetic babyface on Busted Open. Ray pointed to the golden opportunity Triple H and company have to give Tiffany Straton an explosive babyface moment. He proposed a scenario where Trish Stratus gets beaten to a pulp, only for Straton to receive the hot tag and clean house. I hope they do not do. Heat on Tiffany, hot tag to Trish, Bully Ray said. Reverse it. Heat on Trish, hot tag to Tiffany. Tiffany is the star. Gets so much heat on Trish, so much sympathy, that they are begging to see Tiffany, he added. Bully Ray believes that, unlike before, WWE has begun to pay heed to the fans, so this scenario is plausible, and they should. Why does Bully Ray want Tiffany Straton to be portrayed as the star at Elimination Chamber, Toronto? In the last decade, Vince McMahon had heavily relied on retired or semi-retired WWE superstars to sell premium live event tickets. Bully Ray is against this. A similar situation has recently occurred, as The Rock has been plunged into WrestleMania season's top storyline involving undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes. This evoked curiosity among fans, as a singles bout between the two was teased in April 2024. However, Ray feels this should not be the direction WWE heads toward. Perhaps this could be the reason he would rather see Tiffany Straton get the spotlight over Toronto's own Trish Stratus. I believe that what they're doing now in the WWE, they don't need The Rock for that. And there's going to come a time in WWE where they're going to have to stop relying on The Rocks, the Austins, and the Undertakers of the world. As seen in the clip above, WWE has been heavily promoting the Final Boss segment at Elimination Chamber, Toronto, with the American Nightmare. Interestingly, Dwayne Johnson supposedly shut down the possibility of a singles bout at WrestleMania 41. WWE star Tiffany Straton suffers awkward wardrobe malfunction mid-battle with Candice Liera, as broadcasters blackout screen. WWE star Tiffany Straton had a night to remember for the wrong reason after suffering a wardrobe malfunction. Straton was facing off against Candice Liera at WWE Smackdown on Friday night, a contest which she won, but not without the unfortunate moment besetting her. In the latter stages of their fight, Straton, 25, cornered Lerae and was attempting to pull off a move on her, but at that moment her top slipped and broadcasters were forced to black out the screen to avoid a horror show. Despite beating Lerae, the current WWE Women's Champion did not progress to win the night overall, as she was bested by Nia Jax. This is the second time that the star has suffered a wardrobe error after her garment was torn in May 2024, forcing her to cover her nether regions. She has been one of the driving forces in the women's section of WWE in recent times, and opened up to the Toronto Sun earlier this month about her first year in SmackDown. "I would not have changed."
Charlotte Flair broke a long-standing WWE tradition to show she's a perfect natural heel. Charlotte Flair triumphantly returned to wrestling at the WWE Royal Rumble Premium Live event, competing in her first match in over a year after a serious knee injury. She was pre-announced for the match, so it wasn't a surprise moment, but in typical Flair fashion, she made sure everyone left the show talking about her. That's because the Queen returned with a bang, winning the Women's Royal Rumble and booking her place at WWE Wrestlemania 41. However, after a brief moment in the sun as a babyface, fans brought her crashing back down to earth with a bang by booing her out of the building the following night, proving her quality as a heel by going against a classic wrestling tradition. Typically, in wrestling, whenever someone returns from a serious injury, they're welcomed back with a babyface run because fans are just happy to see them. Considering the length of time that Charlotte was sidelined for, coupled with her general star power, most people presumed that would be the case here. Charlotte Flair didn't get the welcome back babyface run. Flair got a good reception in the Royal Rumble match itself, and that seemed to set things up positively for a babyface run. However, the next night on WWE Raw, fans hated her again, and it was as if no time had passed from her previous run in WWE, despite the fact she was cutting a genuinely babyface promo about the adversities she's dealt with and the problems she's had to overcome. Fans just seem to have zero sympathy for Flair. It's a unique situation for someone to be in, but it does prove that she's a genuinely fantastic heel. And that's not easy to find when someone is also a terrific in-ring talent like she is. That WWE consistently makes booking mistakes with Charlotte Flair. Big reason fans immediately turned on Charlotte Flair after her return is that there appears to be nothing new with her character or in how WWE is booking her. From the moment she arrived on the main roster, WWE has forced her into main event positions, racking up title wins to seemingly catch her father's record as quickly as possible. None of that aligns with a babyface, so people prefer to cheer the likes of Bayley or Becky Lynch. Fans like to see someone scrap and earn their opportunities, and returning from a serious injury like Flair did provide WWE the chance to tell that story with Flair, having her narrowly miss out and be forced to scrap for everything. However, WWE just had her waltz back and immediately won the Royal Rumble. That's the same type of booking the company has always done. Unfortunately, at this stage, audiences are genuinely tied to it. Flair might be an incredible professional wrestler, but she has become stagnant, and that's a problem for her character. The fact that fans wasted no time telling WWE exactly that isn't a positive sign either. There are certain wrestlers who fans cannot imagine as a heel, such as Rey Mysterio, but Charlotte Flair falls into the opposite category. While she's been a babyface in the past, it is a role that's never quite suited her and has never felt truly organic or natural when it has been attempted. Charlotte Flair is unlikely to ever work as a babyface. A big reason for that is her overall presentation. While some fans can get cheered for claiming they're the best in the world, such as CM Punk, Flair cannot. Seeing her walk out in huge robes or wearing designer gear for promos all push a classic heel character, and her often arrogant persona only supports that Flair is a genuinely brilliant heel who always gets a massive reaction from the fans, which is crucial for anyone in this role. WWE doesn't have many of these at the top level, and that's why the company might just consider never changing her at this point. The path forward for Charlotte can already be seen, as she is now fully leaning into her heel gimmick, as was shown on last week's SmackDown during her promo with Tiffany Straton. There's no turning back now. Charlotte Flair shows off new physique. Sends message to fans. Charlotte Flair showed off her impressive new physique on social media following this week's edition of WWE Raw. Flair missed over a year of action due to a major injury before her return at Royal Rumble 2025. That the veteran returned to the ring during